1, 2, 3. Sync.
We're saying Juan. 1, 2, 3.
I know.
1, 2, 3.
Have you ever?
Seen a grown man naked?
Oh, hello everybody. A spicy intro that time. No, there are certain people that I've heard speak that say the number 1
Juan.
as Juan.
Juan.
Either
Juan.
like Juan, like the name, or Juan, like pale and
Juan.
shabby complexion.
It sounds like you're doing like a, what do they call it? Hypo-nasal talking, where you're like,
Is that?
yeah, when you're talking like pushing a lot of air out your nose, like, Juan.
You look like a lizard when you talk that way.
Juan.
A little
this?
monkey.
I think he wants a banana or something.
Ooh, ooh. Give to Kiki?
Give to
Yes. Kiki. Kiki.
Kiki.
Fetch my slippers.
Kiki, you want nanas?
Kiki's the little brown man that RoboCop meets in Naked Lunch. You remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And Kiki's also the name of a little brown man that Colonel Gentleman sleeps around with in the Venture Brothers, which I
Yep.
think is a reference to Naked Lunch.
Really?
Well, he lives in
Dead Zone or like the
what's it called? What's that place actually? Tangiers.
Tangiers, yep.
There's a part where Colonel Gentleman is living in Tangiers and is having an affair with a little brown man whose name is Kiki.
That's right.
And what's the name of the typewriter? I keep trying to think of this, and it's like on the edge of my mind.
Yeah, I forget too. It's something
It's a name,
like
something.
the Apollo
a
or
second.
like,
But
yeah.
I kept waiting because when I was rewatching Venture Brothers recently, I was like, man, I'm gonna pay real close attention because I know there's a scene in Tangiers with Kiki, and I'm waiting for the name drop of one of those typewriters. But he never said anything like that because if he did, I would have recognized it. It's a very distinct name. God, it's on the tip of my tongue, man.
I'm looking for it.
The Chester Bennington 4. That's not what it is, but we got a stick for giving Kiki some bananas.
The Clark Nova.
Clark Nova.
Yeah.
Yep. And then what was, I'm just gonna call him Ash. What was his typewriter? They all had different names.
Right, and that would have been Bilbo's typewriter.
Yeah, or Bilbo. I prefer to call him Ash, but
Or Roy Schneider. Remember Roy Schneider was in
Roy
that?
Scheider.
Yeah, Roy Scheider.
Wait.
Remember him in the
Holy shit, he was in that movie.
in Naked Lunch? Yeah, he like
Because he was only in the end is the reason I
he
forgot.
had boobs. He like shows up and you're like,
And the
what the hell's Roy
mugwumps.
Schneider being?
Well, because I didn't expect it, and also because the scene that preceded it was a scene with all the mugwumps being like, and they're like, it looked like a Chinese shoe factory full of mugwumps.
Yep, they were definitely doing a lot of like slave labor.
I kind of want to rewatch that movie now.
Really?
Yeah.
It's nice to go back to every once in a while because it's Cronenberg's really bizarre adaptation of an actual Burroughs book. Like it's an interesting concept.
Did
Sterling, no, Smith Corona Sterling. I think that's the actual name of the typewriters.
okay?
Clark Nova.
Yeah, the Clark Nova, man. Okay. I found like pretty solid evidence and like 100% proof that I'm a big old nerd. Like I think it was yesterday morning.
Olivetti, is that one of them? Tom Frost, Martinelli. I think that's
Martinelli.
Yeah,
Yep.
Martinelli typewriter.
Martinelli.
Martinelli.
The unequivocal proof that I'm talking about is I think that I showed you and Eric the Animu, my favorite Animu, Outlaw Star. At least a little bit.
I've seen Outlaw Star.
Okay. So you know that the
And there was a
name
Toonami, yeah.
Yep. The name of the ship is the Outlaw Star, but its actual designation is what?
I have no idea. It's been way too long.
The XGP-15A2.
Nerd!
But I was driving to work yesterday morning, and I just happened to look at a license plate in front of me of a red car that said XGP-15A2. and I did a double take because
Did you like ram into it and be like, "Oh, marry me"?
No, but I was like, if he wasn't speeding quite a bit, I was really thinking that if I get next to this guy, I'm gonna try and get him to roll his window down and be like, "Hey, man, you're a king. Keep living your life."
You're a king. I love your license plate.
But I had
maybe
to,
he
like-
forgot about it. Like, oh yeah.
Or
I
maybe
still
it
have
wasn't like it was his girlfriend's car or like a family member's car that he was driving, and he had no idea what
that.
I'm
Just had
talking
no idea
about.
what you're talking about. Just
Yeah.
some crazy kid. Like,
But-
hey, I love you, man.
I did a double take because I was like, I've thought about getting that license plate. I'm not that big of a nerd to actually get it because then people would be like, "What is that?" And
I'd get the Ecto 1 as a nice license plate.
Yeah, I can see that. But I've thought about that before, and I've actually also thought, well, why haven't I seen that? I feel like there's got to be somebody else in the world who
It's
would
pretty
get that
obscure,
license plate.
I'd say.
And I saw it in my hometown.
That's cool. I like
Is
that. No, I like that. You find something that you had a connection with. And
Very,
you'd be
very
like,
serendipitous.
cool. And it kind of makes your day when you see something like that.
I don't have any bombs.
And then it makes for a cool story.
Eh.
I enjoyed it at least.
Okay, thank you. Now that I know that somebody thought it was cool, I can continue to defend it as such.
Well, if not cool, like serendipitous, like you were saying, interesting,
It's a very interesting coincidence. Like, yeah,
and like have the
it
fact that
happened-
you, everybody knows it as the Outlaw Star. You know it as the designation, and like that's even further down the rabbit hole of nerdy. So it's like
Yeah.
more interesting.
Bomb. I need that.
Were you trying to say mom, but you had like a stuffy nose?
No, I said bomba.
Bomb,
I always call them bombs.
bomb.
Bomba.
Whoa, whoa!
Kind of like,
This guy raving out here. Can you imagine him just like doing this constantly, even when you're not in this room? He's just like,
yeah. Because earlier when I passed by on that little patch on the left that's up above,
oh yeah,
he didn't know I was up there. He was still just like, yeah.
He's like, whoa, Bimp's up there. Sweet.
Hey, man, come down to the party.
You don't want none of this shit.
Oh, you want all of this shit, boy. I got the best shit you need.
What was that thing he was hurling? Like, it looked like a big walnut.
Well, it was like a morning star or a blackjack or a
Flail.
like flail, or just sometimes people just used a spiky ball at the end of a chain.
Pardon me.
What are you doing?
What was that? I heard like a.
That was you. That was something you did. It came from
No.
where you're sitting.
No. That noise that just happened?
Yes.
No. You have a little cracked window open, and it was something from like university. I know it. It was like somebody revving up a motorcycle.
That sounded like it came from your like.
Like
I
my
know
body?
You, I
Like
know
a
that you
bodily-
weren't farting, but like
No,
it sounded
was-
like it came
I
from.
looked over there because that's where I heard it.
I thought you were trying to throw me off your scent.
No. I swear.
Wow.
I swear. That's why I looked over there. I was like, "Is your window open?" Because I heard a.
It is.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was like, but it wasn't a motor.
That'd be very weird if that was me. That sounded too mechanical.
I thought maybe you had like, because sometimes you start playing something on your phone, and I was like, what is he playing? I'm
Yeah,
curious.
sure.
This
Just
is
like
an
listening
interesting
to
noise.
moped scooter sounds.
It didn't sound like a real motor. It sounded like somebody.
Putting up like one of those crappy like Folgers cans on their muffler or something.
Hold your can. Best part of speeding up is suck my fucking dick.
As whistles do go.
Is the whistles go woo woo.
Oh, you had like 3 cop cars just drive by just now.
Oh shit.
Yeah, no, seriously, they're big, the SUV ones.
Uh-oh. When I was living at my old apartment, I came home from work one day, and I was just... it had a kind of nice view, I thought. Like, and it was the first place that I lived in since moving back, so sometimes I just got nostalgic and looked out the window. And I turned on my AC one day after getting home from work, standing there looking out my window, and a car just comes screeching down the street and stops just to the left of my window. I can still see them pretty well if I, like, lean forward a little bit. And then, like, 3 cop cars with their lights on just all come and surround their car. All of the cops immediately get out and put their hands on their weapons. They don't pull them.
You're sitting there with like a mug, you're like,
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah, I'm sitting there and like, wow, this is developing quickly. And like,
yeah, you like just got to the window.
I think I might have been there for like a minute or two, but they all just burst out of their cars, hands on their weapons, and started yelling like, "Get out of the car! Get out right now!" And two guys got out, and then they just like approached them, apprehended them by just putting their hands behind the head and cuffing them and sitting them down next to the cars. And then there was a lot of like them just milling about and talking to each other, the officers. And so I was like, all right. I mean, seems like the action's over. That was a bit exciting.
All right.
But, because when I saw the hands go to their weapons, I was like,
Shit.
do I need to like hit the floor? What the fuck is happening?
Yeah, stray bullet. You never know. Those things are crazy.
I'm guessing that they probably just, because it was so close to the interstate, they might have just been like speeding or something, or they had been attempting to pull these gentlemen over, and then they diverted off and followed them or something. Who knows? I don't have the mind of a criminal.
What if, and not to take away from that story, but what if a dog just came barreling out of the car instead of like three guys or however many guys?
Just one dog?
Yeah.
No human?
No human. You're sitting there like,
I would have stayed at that window and just taken video and just been like, this is the
get
best.
your hands.
This is the best day ever. I don't know why, but they're arresting a dog.
And we'll be back in the next episode. We'll continue with the
Final
golden leaf.
leaf.
Yay.
Bye, Richard.
Bye-bye.